Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to the Berkeley Center. You have made a great choice in choosing the Berkeley Center because you get the best of everything. Berkeley is a city with a small population and a big reputation. An amazing university is just a short walk away. And then San Francisco, one of the most beautiful cities in the country, is just 30 minutes away by BART. So you're gonna have a great time here. We want to start off with some quick introductions. So my name is Lisa Holsworth. I am your school director. My job is really to make sure that you have a great experience learning English and discovering the area. So come to me for any questions about really anything. So I look forward to getting to know all of you very well. Thank you. This is Ava.
Hi everyone, my name is Ava. I'm the academic manager here. What that means is that I can help you with any questions you have about academics. So your level, your teacher, your classes, your academic progress while you're here. Come and see me with any questions. I'm happy to help. Also on our academic staff, we have Mimi Ghosh. She's our head teacher. So she does teach classes here. You might be in a class with her, but she is also available to help you with any questions you have about academics. So welcome.
Hey! My name's Scott Skinner. I'm the Housing and Activities Coordinator. So if you have any questions about housing through Kaplan, you can ask me. Also, if you have any questions about activities that are on the calendar, or if you want to suggest an activity for next month's calendar, come and talk to me. I look forward to meeting all of you guys. Here's Belinda.
Hi, I'm Belinda. I'm a Student Services Coordinator and DSO. If you have any questions about your F1 policy, attendance, extensions, or university, come see me. Okay, thank you.
All right. So today's orientation. Orientation is a day for you to just get comfortable with your new school. So just everyone can relax. Don't worry about today. It's going to be an easy and fun day. We are going to give you a lot of information in this video. Don't worry if you don't understand everything because it is all in your beautiful handbook that Belinda has put in your student folder. So if you have questions about what's in the handbook, you can come talk to us tomorrow, next week, and just enjoy the day. Thank you. Ava's going to talk to you about academics.
All right, welcome. Like I said, my name's Ava. I'm the academic manager here. What that means is I can answer any questions you have about academics. So we're going to go through a little bit about your schedule and some of the basic academic information you need to know. But you can always come and see me if you have questions. Okay, so first, let's take a look at what your schedule might look like. We have three basic kinds of programs here in our General English program. The first is Vacation English. If you're studying with us as a Vacation English student, you're studying for 15 hours a week. And here's an example of what your schedule might look like. You have two options. One is in the morning and one is in the afternoon. But basically, for a Vacation English student, it means you're studying with us for 3 hours a day. And then you have the rest of the day free to explore the city, participate in activities, whatever else you might like to do. Next, we have General English. If you're a General English student, it means you're studying with us for 18 hours a week. So you'll take the same integrated skills classes, and then you also have something called structured study. Structured study, which I'll talk a little bit about later, basically involves study clubs, self-study. It's basically just a little bit extra. And we have a big schedule of structured study activities. It's required that you take it twice a week as a minimum. But you could go every day if you want to. It's really up to you. All right. Last but certainly not least, we have intensive English. If you're an intensive English student, that means that you're studying with us for 21 hours a week. You take the same integrated skills classes, then you also have a class called specific skills. This is like an elective, and it takes place in the afternoons from 1 to 2:30, Monday through Thursday. If that's not enough for you, you can also take advantage of structured study if you're an intensive English student. Now, don't worry too much about memorizing the schedule. You will get a copy of your personal schedule after this orientation. All right. If you're studying TOEFL and academic English with us, You'll be studying for about 18 hours a week. You have 3 hours of class per day in academic strategies, TOEFL strategies, and academic English. Then you also have structured study, which is when you'll complete your practice tests and extra outside of class work. All right, great. We have 6 levels in our academic program. It starts at elementary and goes up to proficiency. When you get a copy of your schedule later, you will have one of these levels on your schedule. Don't worry too much about the name of your level. It's just the name of a class, and really it's the class that we think is best for you. So you'll be placed in a class, and you'll spend about 10 weeks studying there before you move to the next level. In our integrated skills classes, probably you've studied English in your country, and maybe you're used to classes like grammar, speaking, listening, reading and writing. And here at Kaplan, we do it a little bit differently. We take all those skills together in integrated skills classes. I think this is really cool because if you go out on the street, English does not exist like grammar, speaking, listening, reading, and writing. It all goes together. So it'll be the same in your classes. We know, though, that every student is different, so it's important that you tell your teacher what you want if you need more in any one skill area. Your classes will be communicative. That's the whole point of language, right? Is to communicate. They will also be interactive. That means your teacher is not going to come to class and talk at you for 3 hours. Not like I'm doing right now. They'll also be task-based. That means we want you to really do something real with the language. Okay, our weekly schedule at Kaplan goes from Tuesdays through Mondays. It's a little confusing, but bear with me. Basically, new classes always start on Tuesdays. So today is Monday, it's your orientation day. Don't worry, you have not missed anything. All of our students are right now reviewing what they learned last week and taking quizzes, and new classes will start tomorrow. So if you change classes, if you move up a level, the new class will always start on a Tuesday. It's very important to check the class schedule downstairs every Tuesday morning to see any new classes or changes that might have happened. Okay. So for assessment, like I mentioned, every Monday you'll have quizzes and do review about what you learned the week before. Every 5 weeks, you'll receive an individual student report that will be emailed to you, and it'll tell you about the progress you've been making in your classes. After 10 weeks in a class, you can take the level test to see if you're ready to move on to the next level. The level test is going to test the skills that you've been learning in your integrated skills classes. So if you've been paying attention, if you've been doing your homework, if you've been doing well on your quizzes, you should have no problem with the level test. If you get a 70% on the test and you have 80% attendance, then you'll be ready to move on to the next level in our program. Here's an example of an ISR. Whoa! Let's see. Here's an ISR. I will be emailing you this every 5 weeks. So check your email, check your junk folder, to make sure that you're getting this. This is your grade report, and it'll show you your attendance, your grades, and comments from your teachers about how you're doing in your classes. All right, let's see. Specific skills classes for those of you who are intensive English. This is like your elective class. You'll take it in the afternoons, Monday through Thursday from 1 to 2:30. Depending on your level, you get to choose what kind of elective class you want. So this is a great option for you to get extra practice in the areas that you're the most interested in. These classes change every 5 weeks, so let me know if there's a new or a different class that you're interested in. Okay, structured study. For those of you who are general English or TOEFL students, it's required for you to attend structured study for 3 hours per week. That's basically 2 sessions. And if you're intensive English, structured study is optional for you to attend. Here's an example of our structured study schedule. You'll see we have it happening 3 times per day, so you can look at what time is most convenient for you. And you can also look at our schedule and think about what you might like to practice. If you want extra conversation practice, you should come on Tuesdays. Or if you want more writing practice, you should come on Thursdays. You should also know that you can always come to structured study for extra help on whatever you're working on in your other classes. There's always a teacher there, and they would be very happy to help you with whatever you want to work on. Please join us if you're a general English student on Tuesdays when we have structured study orientation, so you can get a little bit more information about the requirements of the program. All right, you've given us $40. This is your book deposit. It's kind of like a library, right? You give us $40, we'll give you your book. At the end of your program, if you return your book, we will return your $40. So please do not write in your course books. You are just borrowing them, okay? If you're a TOEFL student, you can write in your books, you can keep them. They're included in the price of your course. Let's see, a couple of other things. If you're interested in going to university in the United States, we can help you with that process. You can talk to Belinda about university placement services. Also, if you're interested in preparing for a test like TOEFL, GMAT, or GRE, we have courses and can help you with that. So you can ask us questions about those things as well. Okay, a little bit of advice from me to you. It's important to remember while you're here having this awesome experience as an international student that you are here to be a student. We want you to learn as much as you can and really get the most from your classes while you're here. So we expect and hope that you will come to class on time, finish your homework, participate, ask questions. You will learn more if you sit in the front, raise your hand, participate in class, than if you're sitting in the back on your cell phone sleeping, right? And we want you to learn as much as you can while you're here. Lastly, if you have any questions or concerns about something that's happening in your classroom, please speak with your teacher. Your teacher is really going to be the person who knows you and your experience the best while you're here. So feel free to ask them about what's happening in your classes. And then after, please come and talk to me because it's my job to make sure that you're having a good time and learning. All right. At the end of your course, you get one of these beautiful certificates of completion. It will tell you your level, your attendance, basically what you've accomplished while you've been here. And if you studied with us for more than 10 weeks, you can take an exit test, which is really cool because we can compare your progress from your first day to the last day, so you can see how much you've improved. We have a computer program called Native Accent if you're looking for some extra help with pronunciation, grammar, and things like that. It's not a Kaplan program, but if you're a Kaplan student, you get a discount. We've got flyers for this program that look like that. They should be in your orientation folder. So come and talk to us if you want more information. Okay, that's it for me. Like I said, please come and talk to me with any questions you have about academics, and welcome. We're very happy to have you here. Here's Scott.
Welcome to the Bay Area, guys. It's an awesome place. I've lived here almost my whole entire life. You can see that we've got wonderful views. There's always some cool festival going on. And of course, there's the tourist attractions as well. The Bay Area has it all. And Berkeley is one of my favorite places. And that's why I've been at Kaplan for so long. It's just a fantastic town to be in. Here's a little map of Berkeley. I want to mention 3 of my favorite spots. The first place is downtown Berkeley. That's where we are right now. The cool thing about downtown Berkeley is no matter which direction you walk, there's tons of shops and tons of things to do. I suggest that after class one day, you guys just take a walk that way and look at all of the cool things, eat at a different shop. The next day, take a walk that way and do the same thing. I'm not lying, downtown Berkeley it's just fantastic. And if you guys take advantage of your feet and walk around, you'll be very happy. Now, when you think about Berkeley, you might think of guys like me with long hair. Or you might think of people with really colorful t-shirts on. If you want to see those type of people, you should probably go to Telegraph Avenue. Telegraph Avenue is probably the most famous street in Berkeley. It's very close to UC Berkeley, and it's the place where you can go and people watch and see those unique Berkeleyites and really get a feel for the local culture in Berkeley. I could spend a whole day just hanging out at Telegraph because they got cool coffee shops. They also have really good record stores if you're into music. Also, if you want a souvenir for your family or friends back in your country, Telegraph Avenue is a great place to go and pick up a little souvenir. The last place I want to mention about on this map is called the Gourmet Ghetto. I don't know if you guys are foodies, but if you are, you should definitely go to the Gourmet Ghetto. This is the place that's most famous in Berkeley for having the best, most delicious food. It is a little bit pricey, but it's worth it if you're on a date, or if it's someone's birthday, or maybe if your parents are in town. This is a great place to take them and just show them a wonderful time. You can Google the Gourmet Ghetto and find out more about it and select the type of restaurant that you're looking for. So that's a little bit about Berkeley. I'm not lying, you guys have chose a fantastic place. Everything's in walking distance. So get some exercise and walk around the area. Of course, while you're walking around the area, you can walk to UC Berkeley. It's very close. You just got to walk up the hill. It's about 200 meters. The cool thing about UC Berkeley is it's a public school. So if you guys want to, you can attend free lectures and classes. And to know more about that, you can always talk to me and I can help you out. Also downstairs, we usually have a piece of paper on the board that gives you information about free lectures and classes that are going on at UC Berkeley. If it's sports season right now, please come with us and join us to watch the Cal sports teams, whether it's basketball or baseball. It's a fantastic college atmosphere, and yeah, we got to take advantage of UC Berkeley. We do tours up there all the time. You guys can go up there and meet students. Everybody's very friendly. It's the college atmosphere. People want to meet people, so don't feel like intimidated by UC Berkeley because it's so famous. People are very welcoming up there. And beyond Berkeley, we've got Tilden Park. You can see Tilden Park if you're standing in front of the Kaplan building and you look up, there's this huge mountain. And in that beautiful mountain is Tilden Park. And as you guys can see, there's tons of awesome things to do at Tilden Park. There's also a lake up there, and if it's summertime, you guys should definitely take advantage of that. Another cool thing is the Cal Sailing Club. If you guys have ever been on a boat or windsurfed, or if you're interested in those type of activities, the Cal Sailing Club offers those activities to the public for a pretty low price. So I hope you guys take advantage of the outdoors. Are you getting a good idea of this? Berkeley is all about exploring your surroundings. The Bay Area is a beautiful place, and you guys need to take advantage of the nature, all right? I know that you love your video games and your cell phones and your internet and your computer. That's great. But you got to get out, you got to explore, and take advantage of the beauty that is the Bay Area. One way you can do that is sign up for Kaplan activities, all right? Look how happy all these students are. You see these smiling faces? They're smiling because they're on Kaplan activities. Also, I want you guys to think about joining the Student Leadership Committee. If you have your calendar, you can look on it and you'll see that the Student Leadership Committee meets 2 or 3 times a month. I hope you guys come and share your ideas for next month's activities. I take pride in having students choose activities, not me, it's the students. Kaplan wants to be as student-oriented as possible. So if you guys come to student leadership committee meetings, you can determine the type of activities that we're doing all the time here at Kaplan. So please sign up for that. Now let's talk about some public transportation in the Bay Area and kind of how to get around. The Bay Area is awesome because you can pretty much get everywhere by public transportation. You do not need a car to get to most places. Well, how do we get there? It's a fantastic question. Berkeley and the East Bay has AC Transit and BART, and these are the two main types of public transportation you're going to use if you're in the East Bay. If you go to San Francisco, you're going to be using the Muni bus or the Muni Metro. And of course, if you want to have a tourist day, you could use a cable car as well. So buses and BART are the main way that we get around. And if you're in San Francisco, it's Muni. If you're in the East Bay, it's AC Transit. Here is a map of BART. BART is this little guy right here. Some of you guys may have taken BART to get to school today. It's fast and it's pretty reliable as well. Here is a map of the BART system. It's colorful, but one thing to pay attention to is that we don't go by colors to get to destinations. How we get around using BART is by the last station. All right. So right now, you guys are in downtown Berkeley. Here's downtown Berkeley. If I want to go to San Francisco, I don't take the red line. No. What I would do is take the San Francisco line, or the Daly City line, or the Millbrae line. Okay? So you guys have to pay attention to the signs. Okay? It's not the colored lines, it's the signs. So make sure you read them while you're boarding. This may look intimidating at first, maybe a little confusing. Please don't fear. I'm skipping ahead here. Don't be afraid to ask questions, okay? People are so friendly in the Bay. I get asked how to get around at least once a week, and 95% of the time people will have a smile on their face and tell you how to get around. So if you're unsure of how to use public transportation to get around, don't be afraid to ask questions. Now, the best way to get around BART and on the bus is what we call a Clipper card, okay? A Clipper card is useful because you can use it on all types of public transportation. You guys should definitely pick up a Clipper card as soon as possible. It's just so easy, you don't even need to think about it. You can buy a Clipper card at Walgreens. Later today, when you go on your walking tour, you will be shown Walgreens, and you can go in there and get a Clipper card. I also want to draw your attention to a very useful website. 511.org is the only website that I use to get around the Bay Area on public transportation. It has the most up-to-date information on all of the buses and BART lines, and it can give you multiple trips. So let's say if you want to leave at 12, it will give you a trip at 12, 12:05, 12:10, etc. So it's extremely useful. It's easy to use. Just type in your start address, your end address, what time you want to leave, and plan trip. All right. So Google Maps is okay, MapQuest is okay, but I would highly recommend 511.org if you guys want to use public transportation in the Bay. I also want to mention a couple cool websites. The first website is Yelp. Yelp.com is a fantastic website to find new restaurants and stores. It's an app that you can download on your smartphone, and I suggest that you guys check it out. Very popular in the Bay Area. It gives ratings of restaurants and stores and also tells you where they are and how expensive they are. Very useful. Another website is Craigslist.org. If you want to buy any type of used items like a bike or a laptop, you can check it out on Craigslist. Also, if you want to find your own housing, Craigslist is the website to go to. Ask me any questions about using these websites as they come up, all right? One more website I want to tell you guys about is kayak.com. Let's say that you're a little bit bored of the Bay Area and you want to go down to Las Vegas and party. I suggest that you use kayak.com, all right? Kayak will give you information on multiple websites, and you can choose the lowest price and also the best option for you. So it's like having 10 different websites all into one. Kayak.com is a fantastic website. So yeah, those are some useful websites. And now I want to talk about accommodation a little bit. At Kaplan, we have two types of accommodation. We have homestays and we also have residences. Currently, we have two residences, the YMCA and Borneo. We have housing policies. Very important to pay attention. If you're not paying attention right now, pay attention. So, if you want to change your housing for whatever reason, you need to give me 4 weeks notice, and it will cost you $100. 4 weeks notice, $100. Remember that, all right, guys? Also, if you want to extend your housing, you want to stay at your home or your residence for longer, let me know as early as possible so we can make sure that it's okay, all right? Housing policies. I want to tell you about our two residences. Our residences are awesome because they're extremely close to school, all right? You can look at this lovely map right here. Here's Kaplan, here's the YMCA, all right? It's like as big as my pinky finger away. That's really close. I have small pinkies. Borneo is also very close. It's like 1 finger away. I've got small hands, guys. These are close locations, all right? The residences are cool because it's diverse. You're going to live with a bunch of other international students. They're safe, they're clean, and they're affordable. So if you guys have the YMCA or Borneo residences, you guys are going to have a great time. And if you have chosen a homestay, you guys are going to have an awesome time too. I love our host families. They're all just very friendly. They've been doing it for a while. You're not going to be their first student. They know what's going on. They're very open to communication, so if you have any questions about things to do around their home, you can always feel free to ask them. All of our homestays are around 45 minutes away. Now, this might seem like a long amount of time to travel in your country, but in the Bay Area, this is good. If you're traveling around 45 minutes to get to school or to get to work in the Bay Area, you are a lucky duck, my friend. All right? We've got teachers who travel for over an hour just to get to school every morning. So around 45 minutes is awesome. Each homestay has a different set of rules. Now, most families will tell you the rules of their house when you enter, but make sure that you follow the rules of the house, okay? And if you're unsure of what they are, you can always ask me or the host, and we'll help you guys out. One thing to remember is a homestay is not a hotel, all right? These people are not your parents, okay? They don't want to pick up your dirty socks. You guys have to be respectful and pick up after yourself. Follow the rules. If you're not going to come home for dinner, or if you're going to be late because you're spending a long time at a bar, make sure you text them and let them know what you're up to, okay? Please be respectful of our homestays. We like them, and I know that you're going to have a fantastic time. Ask Scott. Who's Scott? I'm Scott. Ask me if you have any questions about housing at Kaplan. One more thing, guys. Culture shock. Some of you may know this term, and some of you may not. Basically, when you travel and you first get to a place, you're very happy. Everything's new and exciting, and it just looks great. But over time, and it could be a couple days, it could be a week, it could be a month, you start to feel a little bit strange about your new environment, and you may lose your enthusiasm. Culture shock's very common for people who travel. I lived in China for 2 years, and I know that I experienced culture shock. But I didn't stay down here. I moved up, and I ended up being happy again. All right? If you guys are experiencing culture shock, you can be a little bit more outgoing. Say hi to people more often. Keep that beautiful smile on your face. Be open-minded. Be curious. Come on Kaplan activities. See a different part of the Bay Area. And most importantly, come and talk to the staff, all right? I'm here, Belinda's here, Ava's here, and Lisa's here. We're all here to help you have the best experience possible. So if you're, if you're happy and you kind of go sad like this, don't stay like this. Come talk to us and be happy again, all right? So yeah, I think that's it for me. Let's see what's going on next. That's not it for me. I was just joking. You guys can probably tell I'm kind of a funny guy. Make a lot of jokes. If you have this sheet, it's because you're staying at the YMCA or Borneo or at a homestay through Kaplan. All right? I want you to read through these rules, sign it, and give it back to me by the end of today. Very important that you give it back to me, all right? Cool. If you don't have this, don't worry. It's because you don't have housing through Kaplan, all right? Now I'm done.
Thank you, Scott. He is a very tough act to follow, but I will do my best. So I'm going to take you guys through the paperwork that we need to get through today. And let's start with the 2 addresses that I need from you. Okay, the first one is the address in your home country, and then the second one is your address in the US. If you live in Kaplan housing though, maybe you have a homestay, that's okay if you don't give me your address because I already have it. Here in this little box, you're going to put your initials and today's date. So your initial will be the first letter of your first name and the first letter of your last name. So my initial is BL, but no one else should be putting BL on their paper. And this happens every week. So let's make this week the one that it doesn't happen. Right? Also here, I want to note that it's going to ask you about your payment information. Don't worry about that. I don't need you to do anything in this section. But I do need your emergency information, so if something bad happens, who can we contact? This could be a father, mother, sister, friend. And then the last thing on this page is your medical insurance. Do you have medical insurance? Yes or no? And then I need the name of your insurance company. Cool. Okay, enrollment policy. So Scott mentioned this before, but anytime that you change your course or your housing, I need 4 weeks notice, and you will need to pay a $100 change fee. Okay, health insurance is required. If you don't have health insurance, make sure you come see me after orientation. Terminations. If for some reason you cancel your course early, you want to first make sure you talk to Lisa, and if you get a refund, it will be, let me just backtrack here. If you terminate early, you can have a refund, but only if less than 60% of your course has been used. So for example, if you book 10 weeks, after week 6, there is no more refund. And if you do get a refund, it's made the same way that you paid. So if you had an agent, then the refund goes back to your agent, and then your agent will refund you. But again, any questions about terminations, please see Lisa. Okay, this is the second page of your packet, so go ahead and turn to page 2. I will need you to initial all 4 boxes, but I will explain what you're initialing. Okay, so the first one is a completion rate. Kaplan has a completion rate of about 97%. So what this means is 97% of students finish their course from start to end. Sometimes students leave early. Maybe they have something going on at home or they transfer to another school. I don't know of any school that has 100%. 97 is pretty good. Go ahead and initial the first box. The second one is placement rates. So studying at Kaplan does not guarantee you a job after you finish. Right, you're here to learn and study English. That is what we can do for you. We can't help you become a doctor here. License examination pass rate. If you need to take the TOEFL test, GRE or GMAT, you need to pay for that test yourself. And the last one is salary or wage information. We don't have any jobs for students, but you are more than welcome to do an internship with us. It's very fun, and I highly recommend that. Okay, so go ahead and initial all 4 boxes. At the bottom, you will sign and put today's date. Okay, on the 3rd page, I know it says page 4, but just ignore that for now, and flip 3 pages over. At the very bottom on this page, you're going to initial where it says School Performance Fact Sheet. Okay, so this just means that I gave you this paper here. So if you don't have this paper, let me know. So you'll initial here. And then the next page, student signature, that's where you will sign. Okay, make sure you don't sign school director. All right, and then the page after that will be the price list. This tells you how much everything costs in Kaplan. Go ahead and initial the top and put today's date. I know the box is very small, but do your best. Health declaration. This is why health insurance is so important, okay? Because during your time here, if you have any sort of accidents, we need to make sure that you are able to take care of yourself. So you signing this form is basically your way of letting us know that you are responsible for yourself. Okay, so go ahead and sign. F1 program policies. If you are an F1 student, you have special rules that you need to follow during your time here. This is in your folder if you are an F1 student. So if you're taking TOEFL, General English, or Intensive English, that is in your folder. 2 vocabulary words that you guys need to know. The first one is in good status. If you're in good status, you're following the rules. The U.S. is very happy to have you here. You can stay and study here as long as you want. Okay? The opposite is if you fall out of status. This is bad, right? So if you fall out of status and you make this face when you talk to me or Lisa, right? We can't help you. Basically, you're no longer allowed to study here. You have to go back home. Right, we try not to let this happen, but it has happened a few times before. Basically, the only reason why Kaplan students fall out of status is if you never go to class. So if I ask your teacher, how is so-and-so doing? And your teacher says, I don't know who that person is, right? That's a bad sign. You may be at risk of falling out of status. Okay, it is your responsibility to know these rules, but I and Lisa are your DSOs, so if you have any questions, feel free to come and talk to us at any time. Okay, if you do any of these things, you change your address, right? You move from one homestay to another, or you move from YMCA to your own apartment. Make sure you tell Lisa or this person here, right? So also, if you extend your program, transfer to a new school, take a vacation, leave the country, right, you might want to let me or Lisa know. All right, these documents, very important. Do not lose your passport. If you lose your passport, you lose your visa. Okay, you don't want that to happen. If it does, tell Lisa right away. She can put you in contact with your embassy or consulate, and you can report a lost or stolen passport and get on that to get a new one. If you lose your I-20, this is not a huge deal because I can print you one in like 10 seconds, right? I can't print you a passport or visa though, so you're kind of on your own if you lose this. Okay, F1 students, you guys are here to study, so you do need to study a minimum of 18 hours per week. And Ava has talked about general English before, but just a quick reminder, everyone has the integrated skills 15 hours class, but if you're in general English, you have the 3 hours of structured study. So total, 18 hours. Intensive English, you guys have the same class, but you have your elective, your specific skills class. So the total amount of studying that you will do every week is 21. And you can do structured study, but it's not required. Okay, late policy. This is very important. Okay, so your teacher will take attendance every single class. So for example, at 9 o'clock when your class starts, your teacher takes attendance. After the break at 10:45, your teacher takes attendance again. If you're 10 minutes late, your teacher will mark you late. And if you're late twice in 1 week, it counts as a 1.5 hours absent. If you're 20 minutes late, you will be marked absent. You can't go to class. Okay, so after 9:20, don't go to class. You can go study in the basement, you can get some coffee and come back. But you don't want to be disruptive and enter class and have your teacher stop what they're doing and explain and help you catch up, right? You want to go to class after the break if you're past 20 minutes late. Okay, so the same thing applies if you leave class more than 20 minutes early, right? So if your class ends at 12:15 and you leave at 11:55, 11:50-ish, right? You will be marked absent 1.5 hours, okay? This person here is going to be like Lisa, because she is around walking in the school. You don't know where she is. Sometimes we don't even know she's in her office. Right? So if you leave early, there's a good chance she'll know. Okay. Your attendance has to always be above 80%. If it's below 80%, even if it's 79.9, right, I will give you a warning. Okay. After every warning, you have 2 weeks to improve. It doesn't mean 2 weeks to get to 80%, but if you go up even a couple percent, I will be very happy and I won't give you any more warnings. Okay, you get 3 warnings and then you fall out of status. And if you remember what this means, right, it's basically bye-bye. Right, you fall out of status, you gotta go home. Okay, so go to class. Lisa will be very happy, I will be very happy because there's less paperwork for me to do, and I'm sure your teachers and classmates will appreciate it too. All right, excused absences. So I realize life happens sometimes and you can't go to class. That's okay, but if you are sick, right, you can get a doctor's note and I will excuse your absence. Hangovers. If you're over 21, you can drink, right? You can go to the bar. But hangover is not an excused absence. So if you had a really fun night last night, well, congratulations. But you still need to go to class. Okay. Leave of absence. So if you have an emergency back home, you can go back home, and you can go for up to 5 months. But there's 4 things that you need to do. Right, the first one is show me your airplane tickets. I need to make sure you're actually going home and you're not going to be in Vegas for 2 weeks, right? The second one, 80% attendance. This is like your magic number here in Kaplan. If you don't have 80% attendance, you cannot take a vacation. You cannot take a leave of absence if something happens, right? Third one is you have at least 4 weeks of class when you come back. And then the last thing you need to do is have your I-20 signed by Lisa or me. Okay, vacations. So if you booked academic semester, academic year, you have vacation dates that are set, right? It's already been determined. You can't change them. If you don't know when your vacation is, check with me. If you're not academic semester, academic year, you can take 1 week off after you study 10 consecutive weeks. But you need to give me 2 weeks notice, and you will need to pay a change fee of $100. These are our holidays. So on these days, do not come to class. You will be the only one waiting outside, shivering in the cold. Right? No one will be here to open the door for you. Okay, so Martin Luther King Jr. Day in January, Memorial Day in May, Independence Day in July, Labor Day in September, Thanksgiving in November, and then the last week of December, do not come to class. All right, so the last thing I need you to do is find this paper in your packet. You will only have this paper if you're an F1 student, and it's the last page, right? So here you're going to sign, print your name, and put today's date. And that's it from me. I'm going to bring it back to Ava. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks guys. So we know that we've given you a lot of information today. Like we told you in the beginning, all of this information is in your student handbook, which you can find in your folder. You can also come and ask us if you have any questions about the things that we've told you. But there is some really important information, so make sure to review your student handbook this afternoon, this evening. Come and ask us if you have any questions. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you, welcome. We are so happy to have you here, and we'll see you later. All right, bye.